everyone, my name is Nuria and this is my sewing journey, and for today's video I'm going to teach you how to create your slack foundation. So let's get into it. First things first, let's look into what measurements you need to create this pattern. First one up is your waistline. This is going to be around the thinnest part of your body, which is the waist. Second one is going to be around your hips, so that's the thickest part of your body, the biggest one. So if your buttocks is a little bit below, measure that area, or if it's a little bit higher, also measure that area. So make sure that it's the widest part of your body. Next one up is going to be the length of your pants. From your waistline until how long you want your pants to be. I would advise you to measure until your ankle bone. You're probably going to need someone to help you there. Next one up is also a vertical measurement, and it's from the waistline until where you measured your hip. So it's going to be your hip depth. Another really important one is your crotch length, and it's going to be from the front waist and you go around your buttocks and until the back waist. And the last measurement you're going to need is your crotch depth, and you can measure it by sitting down on a flat surface and measuring from your waistline until where the flat surface starts. And that's it. Some other measurements that might be interesting for you to have are the circumferences of the big parts of your body. So for example, circumference of your ankle, circumference of your knee, and circumference of your upper thigh. But this is just to check if the pattern is big enough for you, but they are not completely necessary to draft this one that I'm going to show you. Those are all the measurements, so we're ready to draft the pattern. Let's get into the drafting. This pattern is drafted to fit the natural waistline. If you want another design, I would advise you to follow these measurements, and once you're done, I have another video explaining how to modify these waistlines. The slacks pattern can be drafted from the Treasure Foundation, but I will show you how to draft it from scratch. Step number 1 is to create the structure. For that, we'll mark point 0 at the top left of our paper. We'll draw a line down to point 1 that measures the waist to ankle length. From 1, we'll draw a line to the right to point 2 that measures half of the hip circumference plus 1.25 centimeters. Finally, we'll finish the rectangle and we'll divide it halfway plus 1 centimeter from the line 0 to 1. The back is on the left and the front is on the right. Step number 2 is to add the main lines. These will define the body levels. Let's start with the hip line. This will be measured from 0 and is the waist to hip measurement. Next line is the crotch line, which is also measured from 0 down and is the crotch depth plus 1.5 centimeters. The last line is the knee line and is measured from line 1 to 2 and is half the measurement between the crotch and the ankle plus 2.5 centimeters. It's important to note that the line 0 to 3 is the waistline and the line 1 to 2 is the ankle line. To make it easier later, number all the points where the lines cross the structure and you would have numbers from 4 to 12. Step number 3 is drawing the crotch curve. Let's add the crotch extensions. For the back, which is the one on the left, draw from point 5 to the left, 1/2 of the distance 5 to 8 minus 2 centimeters. This is point 13. For the front, the one on the right, draw a line from point 11 to the right that measures 1/4 of the distance 8 to 11. This is point 14. To know where the curve will meet the structure, draw a line down from 0 down that is halfway between the waist and the crotch line. This will create points 15 and 16. To find where the curve will meet the waist, for the back, mark point 17, 3.25 centimeters to the right and 1.75 up from 0. For the front, mark point 18, 0.5 centimeters to the left from 3. To help you draft the curve, draw a diagonal line from point 5 that is 4.5 centimeters and a diagonal line from 11 that is 3.75 centimeters. Now draw the curve by joining the points 13, the diagonal, 15, 17 for the back, and 14, the diagonal, 16 and 18 for the front. Step number 4 is to draft the waistline. For this, we'll have to define how many darts we want. This will vary depending on your body type. Some guidelines for this are the darts should be maximum 3 centimeters wide, and after that they should be divided by 2. 2 darts are used for larger hips, small waist, and 1 dart for more rectangular bodies. These guidelines are both for the front and for the back. And for this pattern, I'll continue with some standard darts. For the front, 1 dart of 1.5 centimeters, and for the back, 1 dart of 2.5 centimeters. Once you know what dart measurement to use, let's draw the waistline. For the back, draw from 17 to the right, 1/4 of the waist circumference plus the dart measurement, in my case 2.5 centimeters, and if you prefer a snug fit, 0.5 centimeters for added ease. Mark point 19 on the waistline. For the front, measure from 18 to the left, 1/4 of the waist circumference plus the darts, in my case 1.5 centimeters plus 0.5 for ease, which is also optional. This is 0.20. Step number 5 is adding the darts. For the back, the dart starts 9.5 centimeters to the right of point 0 and is 2.5 centimeters wide. The dart is also 12 centimeters long. For the front, the dart starts 7.5 centimeters to the left of point 3 and is 1.5 centimeters wide and 7.5 centimeters long. Remember to add your own darts. The easiest thing is to follow these instructions and figure it out when you make your first prototype. The next step is defining the leg lines. To do that, we have to find the crease line, which is the middle of your pattern. The back crease line is halfway between points 8 and 13 plus 0.5 centimeters measured from 8. The front crease line is halfway between 8 and 14 plus 0.5 centimeters, also drawn from point 8. Make sure the crease lines are perpendicular to the crotch and knee lines, and once you have all these lines, we can decide how wide our pants are going to be. For this foundation, I will make a slim version, but you can draw them however you want. The width of the back knee is 13 centimeters on each side, and on the back ankle is 10 centimeters. For the front knee, the width is 12 centimeters, and for the ankle is 9 centimeters. I have another video explaining what types of leg lines there are and how to draft them if you're interested. And now that we have all the points to draw the slacks, we can connect them. The main feature of the slacks is that they shape your buttocks, so remember to add a little curve on the hip, so points 19 and 20 to 7, and another curve below the crotch line, so the line will not cross point 8, but will be about 1 centimeter away from it. You will be able to adjust this when you make your own prototype, of course. Finally, there are a couple of checks you can do, like measuring the crotch curves, which are point 13, 15, 17, plus 18, 16, 14, and making sure this measurement is the same or bigger than the crotch length we measured at the beginning. Another check is to make sure that the pants are wide enough to fit your upper thigh. Measure points 13 to 8 plus 8 to 14 and compare it to your upper thigh circumference. You can do the same for the knees and the ankles. One last check is to measure the sides of both front and back to make sure they are the same. If you want more step-by-step instructions, I also have this tutorial on my website so you can follow it at your own pace. And that's it! There you go! You have your slack foundation! And now if you want to modify it, I have a bunch of other videos teaching you how to do that. If you use this pattern, please let me know on Instagram. My handle is _Nuriamo, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!